Okay, hello. This is the Environmental Club's meeting today, and we are hosting ASU's College of Global Futures and Sustainability. Nicole Herrera is here with us today. She's going to be our speaker. Thank you, Nicole.
Yeah, thank you. I also have my colleague here, Beth Volker. She is our head academic advisor here in the College of Global Futures. We want to welcome you to our presentation. We're actually the newest college here at Arizona State University. We formed during the summer of 2020, so during the pandemic. And we strive to address some issues that are affecting our planet as our planet is under distress. We work to help our communities to use knowledge to act now because time is winding down. A lot of that is in reference to the world population. Just a growing population creates a lot of not only environmental distress, but there's a lot of social distress, political, economic kind of distresses. Also, just with the emergence of different technologies, what do we do that? How does that impact people, our environments? So we'll touch on that really briefly. And we know that our population continues to grow exponentially. So to give you a background about the college, we consist of three schools: School for Future Innovation Society, School Sustainability, School for Complex Adaptive System. One thing we like to share with this group here is we're actually looking to add a fourth school, which will start with graduate programs, which is be the School of Ocean Futures. So a lot of people have been interested in, marine biology or just studying the ocean as well. That's part of our planet. So we're excited about that. And hopefully within a few more years, we'll have undergraduate programs as well. But we're going to focus on the first two schools, School for Future Innovation Society and School Sustainability. So how does this fit with people's interests? A lot of people wonder, what is our college about? How does it entail? We like to show you a few interests. If you're interested in any of these sorts of ideas, this is the college for you. We're looking at not only just like climate change and environmental factors, we're looking at restoring our ecosystems on land and sea, building a just and equitable society. So we're looking at social justice. We're looking at how technology is going to benefit our lives. We can look at the pros and cons of technology. We know that, technology is a great thing, but then we also got to realize that it's a new frontier, that a lot of laws are not really protecting the user yet. And so those are some ideas that we like to explore within the college as well. We're looking at traditional indigenous sustainability concepts, looking to the past and how many Native people were able to live in harmony with the earth. So there's a lot of great interest here. We know water, especially living here in Phoenix, is such a delicate issue. And then we're also looking to, as a growing population, how does that affect our cities as they begin to expand, and what's going to happen with this growing population, but then less land being allocated to farming. So that becomes an issue of food scarcity. So we have a lot of different programs that are designed to help people use these different types of interests into programs. So let's move into interests and talk about possible careers. So one of the things we like to highlight within the college is getting that real life experience. And so we're looking at various ways where that comes through research, study abroad programs, being able to do internships. And so that helps students be able to get that real life experience and put it on their resume. We're looking toward a transdisciplinary approach. So a lot of people might think, well, yeah, it's a college designed to help the planet, but we're coming in with a transdisciplinary approach, which means we're thinking about how would an engineer approach this? How would a business person approach this? How would someone who deals with the economy think about how this is going to impact our economic structures? We're thinking about policies and laws that are instituted right now that affect this. So there's a lot of different systems at work here. We're not just isolating one problem or isolating one system. We're thinking about all the systems that it affects, and it also affects people overall. So we want to work to solve these complex problems by co-creating. So bringing in that transdisciplinary approach and working with various people and various different expertise. So one thing we like to highlight too is that our degrees are very useful. If you were to ask someone who has a bachelor's degree, is your bachelor's degree related to what you work in right now? Only 1 in 4 people will say yes. But with our degrees, that number is a lot higher. We ask our alumni, do you have a job, and is that job related to what you study while as a student in the College of Global Futures? And those who have a bachelor's degree who graduated within our programs, say 65% say, yes, my job is related to what I studied while I was a student in the College of Global Futures. So with each higher degree they obtain, the higher their degree is related to the job that they're entering in. So those jobs are out there. So here is a slide with the job, the companies that hire our alumni. So you'll see big, huge corporations, you'll see NGOs, you'll see local government entities, even the United Nations. So there's a lot of demand for those who are coming in with a transdisciplinary approach, those coming in with experience. And we'll talk more about that too. So those who have graduated with a Bachelor of Arts or Science and Sustainability, these are examples of their job titles and also the companies that do hire them. And this is for the School for Future Innovation Society. This degree, this Future Innovation Society, is looking towards policy. So a lot of our students also who may not, who may continue with their studies after their bachelor's degree actually go into law because it's a program that's designed with policy in mind. So those policymakers, this is a good program for them here. We also have engineers who come through this program as well, teaching them that not just about creating technology, but what are the consequences of creating that technology. Here are some examples of our alumni. We have Alexia, who used to work at U-Haul. She has a new position here, but I wanted to highlight some of the examples she was able to do at U-Haul. It's such an impact for those who do study in our programs and what they could bring to the companies that they work for. So she really helped to use adaptive reuse of the sites instead of tearing allotting land to create a new building. They reused some of the sites or other buildings to repurpose them and created some additional buildings for U-Haul. We have Maxwell D. Scott, who worked for the as a foreign affairs officer in the Department of State. So he had a impact in that area. And also we had Shannon, who worked for Microsoft as an engineer and program manager. And one of the big, huge things she got to work on is reducing carbon emissions. And so there's a lot of great potential for our students who graduate from our degrees. So let's look at our degrees. Here is a list of our Bachelor in Science and Bachelor of Arts. We have Innovation Society in both Bachelor of Science and Arts. We have Sustainability. And the titles underneath the Sustainability and Sustainable Food Systems are the various different tracks that you can take while as a student. So there's a lot of different areas that you can look into your interests, especially with that interest slide we started at the beginning. There's different tracks available for students. Again, it depends if you want to do a Bachelor of Science or Arts. And we also have certificates. We hear, just at the community college, that was something that was mentioned earlier, that certificates are pretty common, but we do have different types of certificates, and we also have a minors. Biomimicry is one that's pretty popular too. It's looking at nature to replicate it or to mimic it. For example, we have a new building here that's on Rural and University, and for those of us who live here in Phoenix, we know saguaro cactuses. They're big and majestic, but the building was modeled after saguaro cactus. And so if you look closely at a saguaro cactus, it has folds within the cactus. And what that does is it helps to repel the heat and it retains the much cooler air inside of the cactus. So our building on the outside helps to repel the heat and helps to keep the cool air inside. So it's a really cool building. If you ever get the chance, please get in contact with us and maybe we could give you a tour of the building if this is something you would be interested in. We'll give you our contact information as well. So a lot of fun things, and that's actually in the School for Complex Adaptive Systems. So even though we don't have undergraduate programs in that school, we do have that certificate biomimicry. We also have accelerated master's programs. This is where students are able to graduate, especially with a transfer student. So you could possibly during your, halfway into your first year here, apply for these accelerated master's programs, and then have another additional year added to the time you're here. So you'll probably graduate maybe about 3 years or so, or a little more. And get not only your bachelor's degree, but also your master's degree. And that means you'll be able to save money and time. We know that master's degrees take at least 2 years, but this program is set up for students to do about a year or so with additional higher with higher, what am I trying to say? With upper level division classes for the master's degree. And so we have a variety of degrees for their accelerated master's programs as well. And so how do you get that real life experience of what I mentioned at the beginning? So we're looking at transitioning to renewable energy. We know that living here in the Valley of the sun would be such a great source of energy. We're working into removing carbon from the atmosphere. Located adjacent to our building, we have something called the mechanical tree. It's in prototype right now. They're looking at optimizing it to work as something that takes out the carbon from the atmosphere. And they would like to replicate that across the valley and hopefully the world. But that's really interesting. Again, a transdisciplinary approach. We had professors not in sustainability, but also engineering and other professors around campus who are working on this project. We're looking to optimizing material cycles. We know plastic isn't going anywhere, but what are some things we could do to optimize that life cycle of plastics? And here we also, within the college, have high keynote speakers that come to visit us. One is Tom Vilsack, the Secretary of Agriculture. You know, that growing population, food waste also becomes an issue. When we throw out our food, it's not just throwing out that food, we're throwing away that water, energy, and resources that went into producing that food. So we also got to consider how some of the land, even here in Phoenix, used to be farming land, but now it's been converted into housing, to building, to businesses. So we have growing population, but then less land being allocated to farming. Where's our food going to come from? And that's where the Sustainable Food Systems program comes into play. We have experts in that program, like Kathleen Merrigan, who was a deputy Secretary of Agriculture. And so she brings a lot of expertise. She is the head of that program. So again, students are in good hands with those programs. Great solution is doing vertical farming. Chicago in the upper right hand picture here is doing that. These again, this is using 90% less water. You're only using 10% of what we're using right now for traditional farming to do vertical farming. We're using aquaponics, hydroponics for this. We know that plants release oxygen and take out the carbon from the atmosphere. In Chicago, they actually saw a decline in respiratory illnesses, which is a win-win. Also helps to insulate buildings. We know here in Phoenix, it's hot during the summer. Can you imagine insulated buildings? So a lot more cooler and then warmer during the winter months. So a lot of great things with vertical farming. So and also with the real life experience, we're looking at capstone experiences, internships, research opportunities with professors that we have here. We have workshops and clubs and organizations for ways students to get involved. Great way for transfer students to be able to get to know other students here. We have service learning, field experience, study abroad, and mentorships. Research opportunities, we have the sustainability undergraduate research experience for our sustainability students. We also have School for Future Innovation Society's undergraduate research fellows, which is SURF, and then Global Futures Office of Research Services. So a lot of ways students, again, when you come here as transfer students, get to know your faculty members, your professors, and introduce yourself and say, what are some research opportunities I can get involved in, and find ways to be able to be a part of these different research opportunities. Students at the end of the semesters have these poster exhibits and they're able to showcase their research. We have rankings here. We take sustainability at heart here at Arizona State University. We are ranked second in the world of all the institutions of upholding these United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals. And then we also are #1 in the world for sustainable cities, communities, life below water, life on land. And so a lot of great opportunities there. And these are some of our faculty and programs aligned with those development goals all over the world. So you get that experience around different areas and learn from different people as well. We also have various resources. We have internships and career advising. We help students to create their resumes, cover letters. We also help students as a team here to do mock interviews to help them prepare for job interviews. We also have awesome events such as careers going forward. People in the industries that are related to the college or even our alumni have the opportunity to share with students about the jobs that they're in. You have an opportunity to network with those people and also ask questions. That way you can get an idea of your interest and how that's related to careers out there. Here are some examples of internships. You're able to even create your own internship, which Christine did on a vineyard in Oregon. Junkie was interested in policy and governance and interned for the United Nations and ended up working there as well. And then Justin worked for the Department of Environmental Quality here in the Valley. So here are some examples of our study abroad programs and also our global intensive experiences. So you'll see there's an array of different places that students are able to go and for various reasons. So the possibilities are endless. And here are some examples of the study abroad courses for the upcoming 2023. Again, this might change as you come as a student. But this is just an idea to give you what are some of the places and the purposes of those study abroad programs. So here are some examples of our clubs. So there's different ways for our students to get involved, way for you to make friends, and also for you to to go into your passions. So there's the Sustainability Buddies and Campus Student Sustainability Initiatives. Those are some ways that you can even get involved with your fellow classmates. We also have those who are interested in online programs, have a super club as well. And then we also have a high percentage of students who are in sustainability who are part of the Barrett Honors Program. So there's also a club there too. We also have Gardens at ASU and Future Friends. So what are some next steps? So if you're interested in coming here to Arizona State University, what do you need to do? We are located at the Tempe campus online and the Polytechnic campus. And I'll let Beth talk about these enrollment touch points here for transfer students.
Yeah, sure. So when students are applying for the programs in the College of Global Future, as long as you're admissible to ASU, then you would be admissible to a BA or a BS in Innovation and Society. The School of Sustainability does have some higher transfer admission criteria, which are listed here. So we're looking for at least a minimum of 12 credit hours with a 3.0 transfer GPA or higher. And I guess it does say 2.5 for SFIS, but I think it could be a little bit lower than that. I'm not sure, Nicole. I'd have to double check. But okay. Yeah, so those are what we're looking for. For students that are interested in sustainability that maybe don't have that 3.0 or higher, they can often be admitted into a second choice program. And so we encourage students to list Innovation in Society as your second choice program, because then you're at least getting into the College of Global Futures and working with the advising team that advises for all of our programs. And so we can advise you on the sustainability program. And once you're here, then we have change of major criteria that you could meet, which would be taking 12 credit hours at ASU and earning a 3.0 or higher ASU GPA. And once you've got that, then we could switch you over and you would finish out doing sustainability. And we can even have you taking sustainability courses when you first get started. So definitely encourage you to apply to sustainability, even if you don't quite have that 3.0.
Thank you so much, Beth.
Mm-hmm.
And so what we encourage our students to do is to apply to ASU. I'll show you on our degree search how to find us. It is a little tricky because big, huge buzzwords here, sustainability, innovation, but I'll show you how to find us. And then you're going to keep checking your My ASU once you are admitted. It's our students' profile or interface that you could check. So you don't have to worry about an enrollment deposit. Those are for first year students or new student experience. But we also encourage students to submit their FAFSA. And I want to highlight two scholarships I've listed here. The first is ASU does have general scholarships available for students. And then also for transfer students, we do have our Global Futures General Scholarship listed here. And what I'm going to do at the end, the QR code that's going to be provided at the end takes you to a landing page, and you'll be able to look at the scholarship criteria. For both of the last two scholarships, also for a Global Futures Champion Scholarship. With the last scholarship, that is looking, we're looking for students to look at their community, or their neighborhoods, and identify a problem or an issue that you see and come up with some solutions, your own innovative solutions for that. You can either do an essay or you can do a 2-minute video. So that is $4,000 for 1 year for $2,000 per semester. Or you can save that to do a study abroad program if you want to do that for the future. So a lot of different different ways that you can use that. But again, that's the College of Global Futures Champion Scholarship. And then the Global Futures General Scholarship is for first-year students and also transfer students. So there's opportunities for you there. So here is our degree search, and I'm going to show you how to find us. So when you're looking at our undergraduate degrees, you're like, okay, I'm interested in applying to ASU. You want to go there into the little box and where it says keyword and put either sustainability, or you could put innovation, or what we talked about, sustainable food systems. So those are our degrees that we do have. And then once you're able to identify which program you want to do, click that in, we'll put sustainability, click search, and it's gonna bring you up to this, this page. And as you can see, there's a lot of different degrees found with those keywords, sustainability. You'll know it's us when you find sustainability on the left-hand side, then you're also gonna find College of Global Futures. So that's the way for you to find us, and that's our college. So let's go ahead and jump ahead. So in case of any of those of you who want to live on campus, these are our residential halls. We have Adelphi Commons too. And we do have a garden there. So students are able to help plant vegetables and fruit there, and you're able to partake of those. It's really nice. And then we also have, again, high percentage of students who are part of the Barrett Honors Program. So this is where they live. And I wanted to give you guys a preview of upcoming events. If you're coming in either the spring semester or the fall semester, these are some events you can look forward to. There's ways you can get involved here on campus, and see if there's a club that I showed you earlier that you're like, well, I want to do something different. All you need is a faculty member and 2 other students with you, and you're able to form your own club. But again, there's like hundreds and hundreds of clubs here at Arizona State University. And that's a good way for you to get involved with getting to know other students and help you be able to be contributing to your passions as well. So here is my contact information and my colleague Bridget's contact information. Feel free to take a screenshot of that. In case if you do have questions, we're here to help answer them for you. We have our website here, phone number, email address is here. And here is also the QR code. So this QR code is going to take you to that landing page for more information about scholarships, more information about transfer students. You want to learn more about My Path to ASU. That's one of the best programs you could do, because that shows what credits are going to transfer over to Arizona State University. And if you're looking at a program, it shows what areas you still need to do before transferring over to College of Global Futures or to Arizona State University. Plus, you get direct access to a person in admission services, your transfer specialist, and they can help answer any questions you have related to transcripts, any of the admission steps that you need to do. So that's a great way. It's a great portal, a great tool to use. We also have some information with some videos of current students to learn more about what it is to be a College of Global Futures student. We have information about internships and career data on that landing page as well. So we have just a few minutes here left over for questions. I hope that was helpful. Kim? Oh, you're still on mute.
Sorry, that was very helpful and very informative. I had no idea you had so much going on with food sustainability, the food program. So that's very interesting, because we have 2 students who aren't here who are actually really interested in food and soil. So that should be of interest to them. When did the College of Global Futures open again?
We became a college in the summer of 2020.
Wow.
The oldest school, first school of sustainability in the nation in 2006. So we have a rich history here and amazing faculty. And yeah, it's our programs are top notch.
How many students are in your college? Do you know?
Oh, that's a good question. Beth, would you say probably about?
Yeah, for our undergraduates, I would say we have around 800, 850 students, including both in person as well as our online campus.
That's wonderful. Great. All right. Do any of our students have any questions?
No.
I heard a no.
Okay. We hope this was helpful.
It was
I thought
very
it was really informative. I thought I had questions, but then like you'd go through the presentation and like you answered like all of them.
Good.
So yeah, it was really informative. I definitely learned a lot through this presentation.
Well, we couldn't even think of a better sort of club than the environmental club for you all. So very thankful to have your attention here. And again, if there's any classes that you have that would benefit from having us come to present, let us know. We'd be happy to present to your classes. Again, this is our contact information here. We know environmental studies. We also know that there's sustainable cities and sustainable world classes you have. If you need us to come to those classes, we'd be happy to present as well. So feel free to reach out to us. We'd be happy to do that. How much is tuition at ASU? That's a good question. I don't know off the top of my head right now, but what I can give to you is, see if I can find like a link for you to put that in the there for you. See. And since you're in state, significantly less than those out of state. So let's see, I'll put that in the chat for tuition and aid for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Right, well, it's been a pleasure to present to all of you. Again, feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions. Again, we're happy to know that the community colleges are opening back up again. And
Yes.
We hope that we can continue to do this. Anytime you need us to come and speak, please let us know. We'll be happy to do that in person or virtually.
Wonderful. We will let the instructor of Sustainable Cities and Sustainable Worlds know this.
Perfect. Yeah. And you
Okay,
can give me a
great.
recording too. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Beth. Thank you, Nicole.
Yeah,
You're
thank
welcome.
you.